barrier, but managed to stay on the back.
Fair play.
Good lads.
Yeah, that'd be a bit eye-opening, I suppose, would be the polite way of wording that one.
Yeah, it's nice bit of damage on his bike. Here we go then.
Yeah, all lights to the lights. We do have that green flag at the back then, so we've got 3 classes in this one, but not a split start. They'll all set off as one, and away we go then. And James O'Mara on the F900 will take the whole show as he goes towards Oulton corner. AJ in 4th place, looking at the inside. Is it what? I didn't see
5th place.
5th place. Fair play for Joe White there. And it looks like it's coming under a little bit of pressure. I think that was Luca Wilkinson there potentially, but they're racing now down the avenue towards Cascades, and you'll pick them up in just a moment's time. But you'll see James O'Mara on the F900, Keith, leading the charge.
Yeah, those F900s, I heard Matt talking about them earlier, just how stable they are under brakes and things like that. You can be up okay there.
Yes, you sound okay.
I'm not sure. Talking to myself here, it's a bit of a pain, this microphone. But yeah, those F900s so strong under the brakes, and they handle. They don't look like a bike that should be strong on the brakes and handle really well. But there's some seriously meaty forks on those suckers, isn't there, Matt?
There is. I actually had the pleasure of going up to look at the suspension with Glyn Davies when he started these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we went through. I think it's the name of the company now, but it's a guy who very knows his knowledge and his style. Yeah, quite interesting what the bike's made of. The issue with those bikes was ground clearance in the first instance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were crashing them because of ground clearance. I think they've sorted that out now.
Oh, okay, yeah, doesn't seem to be too much of an issue, but definitely some serious leaning going on here as they all come through, just putting everybody safely through. So obviously the opening laps are all a little bit hectic, and we've seen quite a little bit of action down here at the chicane, as we always tend to do, to be fair. So no, everybody safely through the first section of course, not hearing any chatter on the radio, and as the last of the runners disappears up over the hill, I imagine the leaders are probably almost back with you guys.
Yeah, in towards Lodge at the moment there. It looks like that's Fenton Seabright, bike number 47, potentially leading the way, and it is indeed as he comes bursting into our view once again across the line to complete the first lap, and it's Fenton Seabright who will lead the charge over James O'Mara by 1.2 seconds there. Next up is Jack Muir on bike 28, ahead of 86 of AJ on the F900. Then it's Craig Dance on the number 19 F400. That's a ZX4R Kawasaki for Craig. Next up, Ben Brown, Luca Wilkinson making up 8 positions. There's Dave Lindemann in 3rd place in class, but 8th place on the circuit, ahead of Joe White, Michael Bampton and Adam Jamieson. So only 7/10 of a second separating White from Jamieson, and a further 8/10 behind Jamieson. We find Sean Wallace there.
Thunderbike Sport has actually been won by 400s in the past as well. I'm pretty sure the name's Andy Gill, and I think Emma Jarman as well was on a 400 winning Thunderbike Sport in the past as well. He also used to be a bit of a refugee class for the Mini Twins as well because of the similar performance. But the last few years it's become a bit of a retirement home for older 600s like the Jixers, Hondas and R6s. So it's interesting how those changed. But it's good to see a lot of 400s out there giving the super sport guys a very hard time. So I do wonder if we might see a few more of them taken up to second class. Just watching Fenton Seabright come through here. At lunchtime I sat down with a couple of the marshals here, was having a good word with them, and they were saying they think that Fenton Seabright's lap record of that twin could be one of those that stands for a long time at the club, and I have to say I think I agree with them. He really is on it, isn't he?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Just getting the first sector time come through now. There's a few changes of position in this first sector as well, but it's a 15.8 compared with the 17.5 for O'Mara. We're looking up towards Lodge now. You can see that Fenton Seabright right on the inside of the circuit there as he comes out of Deer Sleep to complete the first of the flying laps then. And let's take a look. It's a 45.144 for Fenton Seabright. O'Mara up next, Jack Muir and AJ. That is your 2nd, 3rd and 4th place positions. Then we've got the first of the Formula 400s, and that is Craig Dance on bike number 19, the newer of the ZX4Rs as we mentioned. Ben Brown, Dave Lindemann now through on Luca Wilkinson. Joe White leading the way by 7/10 of a second over Adam Jamieson and Sean Wallace, but there's no bikes in between the top 3 of the Thunderbike Sport, so this is going to be starting to heat up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened to Joe because he was in 5th place going into Denton, and then when he came round, he dropped 3 places. So I imagine he's had a moment somewhere, but it's actually made it a bit entertaining because we've got the 3 Thunderbike Sports together for once.
Yeah, absolutely. It's separated by, I think, 1.5 seconds from Joe White down to 3rd place, Sean Wallace there. Michael Bampton on the twin, the 818 bike, is back into the pits, unfortunately. But the leader of Fenton Seabright making his way through the British chicane and towards Hilltop now, so you'll see him in just a second.
He's already over Hilltop, mate. He's long gone. He's already into his.
Oh, okay.
This way, he is absolutely flying, mate. He is chucking that thing from side to side in fine form. Here comes the next bunch. There goes James O'Mara. There's Jack Muir giving a hard time from AJ once again. Jack, of course, on the Aprilia Super Twin, even though the F400s are racing with us as Super Twins there. There goes young Craig Darlington. I tell you what, Craig is doing the business. Now, it looks like Lindemann has broken clear of the guys he was behind, so he's now got an empty track between himself and Craig Darlington. And I think he'd dearly love to put one over on the track. I think Craig failed to finish the last race, if I remember rightly. So obviously he's not worried about the championship here. It's all about getting the track time and, of course, the experience in the Oulton Park circuit, which he so desperately needs, because they're going to be making their season debut here in just a few weeks' time. See Adam Jameson going past there again. Another serious contender in the championship. Did you ever race against Adam at all there, Matt?
No. Yes, I did. I raced against him in the first round, a couple of rounds, but he didn't have much luck. I think he crashed twice in the weekend.
Yeah, okay. That would have been, no, it was a year before he did. Anyway, I'm not going to speculate as to when I was seeing too many races. That's my problem. I watch an awful lot of races throughout the year, so they all tend to blur.
Adam's catching him down through into Denton, into Cascade, so you should see him coming into the site now.
Yeah, he is indeed. That's right, he's right at the tail. You're completely right there as they charge back up out of my sight once again. It's so frustrating. I really wish this commentary box is a bit taller, like every commentary box we go to, really. I always wish they're a little bit taller as Fenton Seabright comes over the hilltop once again. It's so smooth, so nicely down. Feet on the pegs there. None of this doctor's dangle nonsense for Fenton. He just gets on with the business there. Down into second place, James O'Mara. Now AJ has found his way past on Jack Muir, so this might be a good lap time. Have a look at AJ's time as he goes across the top there. Bradley, let's see if he manages to pull a purple there. There's Craig Dance, and also the other one to watch on the lap times there, mate. Have a look at Lindemann. Lindemann is visibly a lot closer to Craig Dance, I'm sure of it. So he is chasing hard after Dance up the hill. Dance has a look under his armpit. He ain't checking to see if he's got any hair there yet. He's checking to see where his rival is. Any colours coming up on your
so we've got purple for Fenton Seabright there. AJ's gone 7/10 of a second quicker than Jack Muir, but more importantly, as you mentioned there, Lindemann's gone 1 second quicker in the first sector compared to Craig Dance, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one as Fenton goes over the line. There's James O'Mara and AJ, that is for second and third, and then Jack Muir in fourth. Bit of clear track behind Jack Muir actually before we see the first of the 400s. There goes Craig Dance and Dave Lindemann. Yeah, he's got it right in his sights there, isn't he? Last time was 2.8 seconds. This time around it's 1.6 seconds between Dance and Lindemann, with Lindemann putting in a 48.414. Ben Brown up next. Adam Jameson takes the lead in Thunderbike Sport on this lap actually. So number 54, the former champion in this class. Jameson takes the race lead ahead of Joe White by 0.3 of a second across the line, with Sean Wallace a further 0.9 of a second behind them.
Okay, 48.414.
Yeah, it's a lap record.
Yeah, it's a lap record indeed. Yeah, Andy Gill. Sorry, mate, we thought the old 400 was going to hold on to it for a little bit longer, but unfortunately, you put Dave Lindemann on a nice new bike, and he's going to do the business, isn't he? So yeah, that's going to be the main battle to watch, I think, as Cece punches his way through. Young South African who hails from Swindon in real terms these days. There goes Fenton. You can probably hear him. Oh, big twitch from James O'Mara there. He definitely got his tail feathers shaking there, and that's allowed AJ to close right up. And I think AJ might be looking for a very good sector time here as well. Here comes Dance with his dangle, and he comes through, but again, it is very smooth. Honestly, super smooth. Lindemann just comes out. He's not using all the track. He's not running it up the curve. He's keeping it neat. He's keeping it tidy. Then comes that great battle in the sport class, as you say. It's Jameson chasing hard. So who was that leading the sport?
Well, Adam Jameson was leading Thunderbike Sport as he came across.
Oh, okay. Who's behind him?
Joe White.
I think that might be Joe out in front again now. Joe's the colour bike.
Yeah, exactly. Joe's got the Race Shack sponsorship on the outside there.
Yes, it's company, isn't it? So yeah. So no, I think that might be Joe's out in front there now. Sorry, mate.
No, we're still keep an eye on it. And here's that battle between Dance and Lindemann. It was 1.6 seconds. This time it's 1.1. It's a 1 minute 48.184 for Lindemann. So that's another lap record.
That 48 smells very close, doesn't it? 47, sorry, smells very close.
Adam Jameson and Joe White across the line there, and that is not 0.3 of a second. That's closed up quite significantly on this lap there to less than 0.2.
And Sean Wallace very close behind.
Absolutely, so it's going to be a three-way scrap for the race lead in the Thunderbike Sport. I think they've got Ben Brown just in front of them as well there, Keith. So
it's Ben Brown, I'm getting confused. Yeah, that's cool.
Four bikes coming past you in just a second there, down Cascades, but Fenton Seabright has got the two purple sectors on that previous lap for a 1 minute 44.314.
44.3, that's his absolutely phenomenal time. That'd probably give him a decent position in the power bike race, I would have thought. Okay, here he goes, back past me again, and again looking a little bit squirrely. James O'Mara struggling on the brakes down into the very hard brakes, and AJ has now got him well within, so he's got less than a bike length between him. Here comes Dance and O'Mara and Lindemann battle. Again, angle there from Dance. Gets his style working over time. Lindemann there cranking hard over, brushing the inside curve with his elbow there, not using the curve on the way out, and he's got to within about 5 bike lengths now. It's definitely going to close the gap a bit more. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from Adam Jameson, unfortunately. He's just had to slip through the chicane as somebody else goes through, nearly has a collision on the exit as they give somebody a Freddie Mercury. Only just missed the rear tyre. Go, mate.
Just a quick one, the last lap flag has gone out now. Is James O'Mara and AJ are going side by side, and I tell you, AJ is holding on to the outside there. There was absolutely nothing between the right hand side of James O'Mara and the left hand side was just the grass.
Down the hill they come, then AJ looking for the inside pass at Cascades, and he's pulled that one off. O'Mara has to give second best. Will he be able to do the cut back? No, he's in the slipstream. He might have a little bit more on the exit of the corner, but he hasn't got a whole lot to play with there, so I think AJ's looking very good indeed to take that twin win, well, at least the F900 win. Obviously, strictly speaking, Fenton's going to win it very easily with his bike, but we're not worried about him because he's just in another class. And of course, he's on the Aprilia.
Another one to keep an eye on there, Keith, is the Formula 400s. There was 0.3 of a second between Craig Dance and Dave Lindemann as they came across the line, and also the Thunderbike Sport, because it's a half a second gap between Joe White and Sean Wallace, with Adam Jameson dropping down to third, but only 0.6 of a second behind Sean.
Yeah, well, that was after that mistake down here where he went straight on and used the escape road. And here comes that battle. Here's AJ out in front. It's going to be tough to catch now. Got a couple of back markers who may have something to say about this as the guys chasing him are very fast indeed. The back marker's obviously a little bit slower. And now is this a challenge from Lindemann? He's around the outside there and he's outbrake Dance. I think he might have got him before the corner there. Oh, and all of a sudden Lindemann's going to get held up quite badly by the back marker. He goes to the inside and Dance goes to the outside, carries the speed. They're both side by side. Now that back marker has got some speed in a straight line. Oh, that's very frustrating. So they were side by side up to Drewers. I wish we could see that one on the camera, mate.
Oh, it looks like three abreast around Lodge, right? Yeah, so Fenton Seabright's already across the line there. They're coming across the line now to complete the F900s. It's James O'Mara, AJ up next ahead of Jack Muir. So that's close stuff there. 3 abreast, as you said, around Lodge, which is scary.
Yeah.
So we're looking now for the Formula 400s, and it's going to be, that's Dave Lindemann ahead. So Dave Lindemann, bike number 33, then takes the victory in the Formula 400. I think Craig wasn't too impressed that he's lost out on the victory in that one, but still, second place is good stuff there for the youngster on bike number 19. But where is this battle for? It's Joe White. It's Joe White again, 3 wins from 3 races.
Oh, brilliant.
That's a great weekend.
Sean Wallace second, that's a good recovery.
That's a very good recovery, and I tell you what, that also augurs well for the season as well, because Joe White coming on form there, with Sean Wallace already having a couple of good wins at Brands Hatch, his first wins as well. That all looks like very good stuff indeed, doesn't it? So yeah, let's have a look.
Oh, that's nice. Lee Smith in front of